What's up, guys, and thanks for joining me on another episode of Twister Wrench Garage. This week we're doing something I've been kind of putting off, as you guys could tell, because I haven't put out any content. Yeah, I think I've come down to the conclusion that I believe that on Black Pearl, I think that the torque converter has gone bad. I don't know if it was already bad before I put it in there. Could have been, who knows. I put all used stuff in there. The engine it had miles on it already. The transmission obviously had miles on it. Came out of some like B300 camper van. Pretty sure the torque converter came out of the same thing, but I could be wrong. I don't remember. It's been a minute. Another reason why I've been putting it off for so long is because, I feel like I just got the truck together and now I've got to take it apart again. So what we're going to be doing is we're actually going to be trying to pull out the transmission of this truck, get that torque converter out. I'm going to take the drive shaft up to a really well-known place here. Oh, spider. Ugh. That was a big boy. Holy cow. Jack the truck up a little bit. Now all the little creatures are making their way out from the cracks and crevices of the tires and all this crap. Because I haven't been driving it. I just haven't been wanting to because of that vibration. I think, like I said, I think it's the torque converter, and if it's the torque converter, those things, when they go bad, they can send metal shrapnel through the transmission and completely wipe out the whole thing. So rather than me doing that, I've decided probably shouldn't drive it. I've been taking some time, just kind of doing some research just to verify my thoughts. I'm not 100% sure on this, guys. I'm just a regular guy in a garage working on my stuff, So just kind of going off what I can find out on information-wise online, and what you guys let me know in the comments if you guys know more. But I'm pretty sure this thing is toast. So I've got it jacked up in the air. Let's get in here and start tearing it out. I've already got the battery disconnected. I'm gonna need to undo the flex dipstick over there. It's got some self tappers in it. A little handheld thing that I got not too long ago. Make this a little easier. A couple self tappers hold this in. We'll get this pulled off. That way it can dangle and pull out with the transmission. So let's get down there and get that starter and that stuff taken apart. A couple of 5/8 bolts. You have one nut and one bolt. You have the nut on the bottom and the bolt on the top. There we go. And that'll let us pull our starter out. So I can just kind of let it sit right there. I don't need to do anything else with it. Now, we need to pull all these bolts from this dust cover so we can get it out of our way. I think those are 3/8 or 7/16. So I guess while I'm pulling these off, I can kind of go through a little non-fictional story time with you guys. So the reason why I'm pulling this up and pulling this out, and the reason why I think that the torque converter's gone bad is because, one, okay, those are all off, just got one more. Well, one, it's making a whirring sound, real bad. Like you put it in, even in neutral or park now, you can hear it, and that with that vibration, it used to be if I just put it in like reverse or drive, that's when it would make the noise. But here lately, it has changed and has gone to the whole whirring all the time, and with the vibration, All right, that should let us pull this plate out. What's holding me up here? Come on now, I gotta get to these torque converter bolts. I guess I can get to them from right here, but yeah, after a new rear main seal, this definitely is still leaking oil. I don't know why. You go through the trouble of trying to replace all this stuff, and it still leaks. What are we caught on? Oh, transmission line. That would do it. What am I caught on now? Oh. There we go. Off. I need to get these torque converter bolts off. What size are those? They're not 5/8, so what were they on bench strap? Like a 9/16, I think. Yeah, those are 9/16. And with a pry bar, I was able to stick it in between the teeth and just hold it there so it wouldn't rotate. So I'm gonna take this one pretty loose. Not gonna take it all the way out just yet. Actually, I think I'll be alright. No, I won't be alright. Pretty sure there's 4, if I remember correctly. Like I didn't just do one of these a couple weeks ago. I got bad memory. I should be able to get this one out. I'm probably gonna have to put a big socket and a ratchet on the crank, and I'll turn it that way. But I should be able to get a second one here. I'll show you guys how I'm doing it. So we're gonna put this in between the teeth just so it won't rotate. That way I can, oh, maybe go the other way. Kind of a pain when you're by yourself, because you gotta hold the teeth or hold it from moving. All right, so one thing I was curious about is if the weight was still welded to the torque converter, and that is still there, so it's not an issue of it, the weight being off or falling off. So it must be something internal. Come on. Oh, come on. Okay, there we go. I'll have 2 more to get off after that. All right, with an 1¼ socket, I'm gonna put it on the crank bolt here. We're gonna turn this until I can get to the other 2 bolts. And I should be able to get 2 at once. Pretty sure this has 4. I'm just gonna keep turning. You guys can see there. And you guys can see that weight right there. Oh, it's got a drain on it. Huh. There's a little nut or a little bolt thing in there in that torque converter. So that thing can be drained. So let's see. Let's get it right about there, and then we'll get these last 2 off. We've already got the wheels chalked, and then we can get the drive shaft out, and it's gonna leak. This one here, that is the last torque converter bolt. And I was right, there's 4 9/16. None of them were loose or nothing. I thread locked them when I put them on, so definitely did his job. Some 3/8 on the straps of the drive shaft. Pull this off. I got a drain pan up underneath the tail shaft, so whenever I pull it out, anything that drains will go into that. It'll go into that pan rather than on the concrete. Probably still gonna make a mess anyways. You usually do when you're doing these kind of things. Of course, those upper ones are up top. I couldn't get lucky where they were on either side. It's okay. This is the last bolt for the strap, and we'll get this popped out. Keep all my hardware together. Alright. I'm gonna double check my chocks before I pull this out. I'm gonna use a pry bar. I'm just gonna pry. See if I can get this. Come out of here. After quite a bit of prying, I was able to get this free. I remember this drive shaft kind of being a pain to put in. So, if I remember correctly, I think the end of it was kind of rusted. I wire wheeled it as best I could, so hopefully that's not part of what the problem is, and they can get that taken care of at the drive shaft shop. So, also a little tip: once you get these out, take some masking tape, just tape around the caps. That way the caps don't fall off and you lose your needle bearings, because if you've done that, it's a pain in the butt. Drive shaft's out. We didn't make too big of a mess. We caught most of it. A bunch did come out though, so glad I had that there. Don't really want to have to drain the pan, so I'm not. I think we need to start worrying about getting transmission lines, wire connector for the neutral safety switch, shift linkage, kick down. We'll probably have to pull out the Z-bar. A couple bolts right up there. Get that pulled out. I think all that'll be left is the bell housing bolts, and we'll be ready to get this thing pulled out. Doesn't take much, especially when you've been in here recently. Well, cause Dodge. Yeah, I gotta take this oil filter off to get to this bolt. With the oil filter out of the way, I can now get that bolt out of there, 5/8. Now the only ones that should be left are the tops. Should be one over here, one over there, and then I'll have to double check. We also got to get transmission mount undone. This cross member has to be taken out. We're also going to need to support the engine, so I'm going to get a block with a jack underneath here. That way we can support this. That way when we pull this off, this doesn't sink down and tear up our new motor mounts. Alright, 5/8 line wrench. It's fine if you give it a good whack. They break free pretty easy. Just line wrenches themselves are a pain in the butt, but they keep you from tearing up these line fittings. So I'm gonna need to invest in another set, because this is like the only one I have left, and I'm not sure where all of them went. Alright, I'm not quite sure how much it's gonna leak. I haven't ran it in a while. It's leaking a little bit. And we got one up here up front, which you guys can't see, but I can. So I'm gonna see if I can grab it real quick. Kind of in a weird spot, this header right here. Just getting the jack positioned here. Since we got this out, this back end will lift. Little tech tip here, you can put a sandwich bag duct taped around the tail shaft, and that'll kind of help with the leakage. It's not gonna make it, it's not gonna prevent it completely, but it's gonna help some. We're just gonna get a little bit of the pressure on here, and then what we're gonna need to do is get these cross member bolts off, which that'll be pretty easy. We'll get this out, and then all we got left is 2 bell housing bolts on either side, and this thing's ready to come out. So yeah, it really wasn't as bad as I was really thinking it was going to be. I don't know why I was putting it off for so long. Getting a phone call. Alright, let's go. Alright, we can just set that right there, I think. Well, actually, let me pull that out. Get it out of our way. Alright, cross members out. There it goes. Alright, that one broke free. I don't know if I need this on here right They shouldn't be super tight because I just put the transmission in.
That thing is starting to look fast now.
Yeah, because the tail is sitting down.
Try not that transmission fluid in my hair.
Yeah.
There it goes, it's out.
don't move the jack or nothing, okay? Steer clear of it for a second. I'm gonna go grab a strap so we can throw a strap around it, and we're gonna strap it to this board.
Mm-hmm. Hey, I didn't get any transmission fluid in my hair. That's a win.
Nice. Here, grab that. We're gonna bring it up over the midsection of this. Giving us a little bit more stability when it comes to being on the jack. So I'm gonna need you to put your hand up by the bell housing and up, and then we're gonna do right here as well, because we got to come back, and then we can go down. Okay. So
I'm gonna move this stuff.
Matter of fact, I think I can. It's alright. It should already be pretty much well free. And can you hold that for me?
Yeah.
Just keep it from
moving around too much.
Yeah. So we're gonna come down a little bit. Transmission fluid all over that handle. I had to remove the bracket that holds the Z bar to the transmission. It was gonna hang up on my exhaust. So, all right, let's see if we can go down now. Don't want to catch my transmission lines. Oh shit, wrong way. All right, let's come. Let's try to come back some, because I want to clear this line. Can we go your way some? Yeah, like that. Well, don't tweak it too much. Just go down. Damn it.
He's coming down.
Oh, yeah, that's what I thought. Transmission line. Okay.
Something like none other.
All right. It's out.
Trophy right there.
It's out. Whew, it's out. Well, we got the transmission out. So tomorrow, I guess I will call up the transmission shop, see about a torque converter for this. When I pulled it out, it didn't feel like it was very heavy, like it was maybe low on fluid. And I don't remember putting fluid in it when I put it all together. And that's probably my fault. What are you gonna do? Just a regular guy. But if we get a new torque converter, we'll get that drive shaft taken up to the drive shaft shop tomorrow. I think the drive shaft shop normally takes about a week to get stuff done over there. He's normally a pretty busy guy. And then I got to call that transmission shop place tomorrow to see about that torque converter. So I think that's going to be it for today. So I think I will bring you guys back once I've got a new torque converter and that drive shaft is back. So I'll check you guys then. We're back again on another day of working on Black Pearl. We've got the torque converter. We did get our drive shaft back in from the drive shaft shop. They did awesome. Took them about a week to get it done. They said it needed a little bit of a straightening in the middle, and it needed to be balanced. And then where the yoke slips into the transmission, inside of there was rusty before whenever I got it out of the bed of the truck. So they cleaned all that out, freed everything up, balanced it. They did good. If you want to hit them up, I'm gonna put their number right here down below. They do really great work. definitely hit them up if you're in the area or if you need any drive shaft work. When it came to the torque converter though, I was really surprised. I'm gonna be honest. When I went out to Oklahoma City, there was a place called B&I Converters. I just took my torque converter up there to them, and I was like, so here's the deal. This is what I got. This is what I'm working on. This is where I got it out of. Kind of told them the short end of the story of, you know, where the transmission and torque converter and all that kind of stuff came out of, so they can verify to me whether or not I even have the right one, because I was pretty sure I did, but I just want to make sure. You know, you never know. But they verified that I had the right one. I kind of told them my problems. They said, yeah, it could be the torque converter, but I mean, it's really hard to say. I mean, but I was like, hey, I need a torque converter. They're like, hey, let me go see what I got. They walked back into the back. They brought out a box that's covered in dust. I was like, oh, that's been sitting there a minute. And they opened it up, and I was like, 2123. So look, 2123. So it was just done last year. So it's a relatively new torque converter. I've already spent some time, filled it up as much as I could. It took that entire gallon there, so I'm gonna need to grab some more transmission fluid for the transmission. But we're gonna need to get that slapped back in there so we can get all of that back in there. Nothing left to do but to get to work. So let's hop in here. Let's see if we can get this torque converter fully set in there. We'll see if we can get this all put back together. Definitely glad I bought this dolly from Harbor Freight whenever I was moving. It makes moving this kind of stuff around really easy. All right, let's get this bad boy out of here. Oh. Definitely got some added weight to it. Now it is full. Now when I go to put this in, I may lose a little bit, which is okay. There's a hole in the middle of this shaft that'll fill it up the rest of the way if it needs to. Now the trick is we want to get this to click in 3 times. So, let's see if we can't get this without making a humongous mess. Oh, I already spilled some. Oh. Okay. 1, 2. I think that was it. Don't think I can go in anymore. So I think that's installed. A little bit of a mess. Not too bad. I laid down a tarp so I can slide this down in there easier without damaging the paint on my pan. You can see that the pump's working. When I was spinning it, it pumps some fluid out. Alright, so let's get this on here. We are going to need that board. Oh, I'm dripping transmission fluid out of the tail. Oh, that's so much easier. All right. Well, that went in way easier than it came out. Oh, now I'm covered in transmission fluid. Very nice. All right, made a little progress off camera because it was a lot of fight trying to get that transmission up on the jack and on the board, and I fought with that for a minute, and it took me a while to get that going. Oh, but we're getting some progress made here. I've got the transmission, you know, it's seated against the block. I've got all the bell housing bolts around the top, and on that one side actually, the starter goes on this side, and that's part of the bolts there. I've already addressed this loose mount. That's already taken care of. I think what we're going to do now is we're going to get this cross member out. That way we can get this jack out of here, and we'll get ourselves a little more room to clean, room to work with here. And don't mind the mess. That definitely did its job, as you can tell. Thank you. All right, well, let's get in here and let's get this cross member in here and try to get this finished up. Get you guys in a spot where you're not sitting in some transmission fluid. Get this set up in here. Got some of my hardware here. And I'm just gonna get a lot of this just kind of started. All right, let's see. It's been hard to get out here and try to get this finished up. The weather has just not been letting me get much done. Oh, you know what? It'd help if I got my flashlight out of there. I'm out of there. Now I bet we can go up higher. There we go. All right, yeah. Go there and get that side. Come on. I think that needs to go up some more. Started. This one over here is just not wanting to cooperate with me. Need another set of arms. I just want to get all of it started. I don't want to tighten anything up yet, because this frame does have a little kink in it. It's not perfect. Something the exhaust shop told me whenever I got the exhaust done on it. Something I definitely wish I had known beforehand, putting a bunch of work into this thing. But it's really not too bad of a, deal. It's not really too bad. Not enough for me to really fret over it. Gotta get these going. There we go. Yeah, that's definitely a trick I can't say enough, guys. Make sure you get all this stuff started before you start tightening everything up. Because I'll tell you what, you tighten everything down, and you have to go back through and untighten everything just to tighten it back down again, just so you can get things started. It's going to frustrate you. So I've got this whole side basically started. Let's get over there and get that side started, and then we can start snugging everything down, and then we can get this transmission lowered down into its spot. A few more over here. We can start snugging everything down. Yeah, see what I'm saying? Like, it's not going to want to line up properly unless you got everything just right. Can we get this other side, maybe? Yeah, see, that's what I'm afraid of. Let's see if I can't. Now with your guys' trucks, you guys might not have, a bent frame like I do. So, definitely gonna take me a second to get all this lined up and going here. Now mine's only like this, like I said, because I got a little bit of a tweak in my frame. But it'll be fine. They say if you make a sound, you'll get it tighter. All right. Ow. Oh. Oh boy. Alright, I need to go get the mount bolt so I can tap that in there. I think I've got it lined up enough. I should be able to push that through. Go check the other side, I guess. That is through. I can take this all the way out now. Alright, with that tapped in there, we can put this on. It's coming together though. My once upon a nice pan is now not so nice anymore. Oh well. Alright, mount is tight. I think all we got left now is hook everything back up. Yeah, I got to take some time and get all this stuff lined back up and such. So I just got to really start hooking everything back up now, and it's going to be hard to record. So I'm just going to go ahead and knock all that stuff out. The Z-bar, the transmission lines, the shifter, linkage, the kick down, and we'll get the drive shaft in. We'll need to make a trip to the parts house so we can get some more transmission fluid, but we're getting pretty close. So got to get the torque converter bolts in. We're going to Loctite those as well, so we still got a little bit of work ahead of us. I've got 2 of the torque converter bolts in so far. These are the last 2 here. All the linkages, kick down, lines, all that's hooked back up. Make sure you put some thread locker on these torque converter bolts, and we can get those put in. I'm using blue Loctite. Doesn't take a whole lot, just a little dollop will do. Let's see if I can. Weird little angle here. Alright. And same trick as before, I'm just putting a pry bar in between the teeth and I'm just holding it as I'm tightening them down. Wrong way. Snug. Pry bar. Put it in between these teeth here, and that'll let me tighten it. It's a torque spec, obviously, because that's what I'm doing right now. Alright, that's good enough. So I think what we need to do now is we need to get that plate back in here so we can get our starter mounted. Then all we got left is drive shaft and fluid. Alright, I went through the process and I went ahead and put another oil filter on. I'm not going to change the oil. I haven't put enough miles on this thing to really even consider needing to change oil. So we'll get this battery hooked up and then we'll get it topped off on transmission fluid. We're going to find out whether or not we fixed our problem. All right, I just fired it up. We're gonna need to let it warm up. I've got it in neutral right now, and I'm just gonna check the fluid and top it off as we need so we can get it nice and full. That way we can verify if we got the problem fixed or not. When she made it to the gas station, put a little bit of ethanol or non-ethanol gas in it here. She was on E. I'll put like 20-25 bucks in it and we'll take it for a drive. But so far, no vibration. Making me really happy. All right, let's go get it up to speed. And I had it over 35 and I didn't feel the vibration, so far so good. I'm pretty excited that I get to actually drive this truck. Yeah, I don't feel the vibration at all, guys. Holy cow. I'm gonna get it out here on one of this highway out here, get it up to about 55. Or what I believe 55 is, because the speedo don't work. But man, that makes me happy. Headliner is still falling down. Gotta address that. Moment of truth. Oh yeah. No vibration. That's awesome. So it was the torque converter. I was about 75% sure it was. I was gonna be really disappointed if I put that torque converter and transmission back in and it didn't solve the problem. But it seems to have fixed it. That's freaking awesome. Oh man, I can't tell you guys how ecstatic I am that this is fixed, finally. I can actually drive this thing. My daughter is going to be in the market for a vehicle here soon, so having this available to be able to maybe tow something home, it's going to be handy. If that comes to that, you know, if it comes to that point. Oh man, that's so awesome. Well guys, we finally got that problem on Black Pearl fixed. That vibration, it's gone. No more. I'm not feeling it at all. Friggin' super happy about that. Was a torque converter. I thought it was. But I think what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna go ahead and take some time, clean up my mess, get ready to take Mikkel to work and hang out for the weekend. Get you guys this video out Monday. I do appreciate you guys tuning in and hanging out with me while I'm working on Black Pearl. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. We'll check you guys out on the next episode.